So here we have it. We have the cat face. So if you're designing your cat face or an animal face, start with simple shapes. I started with a simple ellipse shape. And then I would start with triangle shapes for the ears, and I would only make one and then copy it. So let me show you that technique. Select the star, hit the down arrow. There you go. I have a triangle started for the ear. Then what I could do is I could go to the white arrow tool. I could move this around a little bit. Kind of gives an edge to the ear if you wanted to. And then you could go into these width warp area here. You could click on this if you wanted to try this. I'm gonna go to the warp tool. You could double click on it and you could lower or raise the intensity here. So I'm gonna lower the intensity to about 30, go okay. And then you can kind of like warp it a little bit. So if I zoom in here, you see it's not warping things perfectly. It's kind of got a little bit of a sharp edge here. So if I want to eliminate that, one of my favorite tools is in the pencil area. It's the smooth tool. So you click the smooth tool, click on the path, click the smooth tool, and just drag the smooth tool down and it'll start smoothing that out. So the warp tool, if you want to put a little warp on the triangle, if you want to smooth out some of those things from the warp, the smooth tool. Another really handy tip here, if I click and hold the free transform, there's this puppet warp tool down here. So I'm going to tear that off, warp. If I click on this and I click, it comes up with this mesh, and I can click on the mesh, and I can further warp that ear and do different things with this puppet warp tool if I want to. So there you go. Then I would just go for the inside of the ear, stay with the pen tool. Click and drag that. And then you can set your colors up. So you go for a pink, and let's say if I wanted my cat to be this color here. Now what I can do is I can select, I could resize it now. Hold the shift key down. I could actually resize the ears to the way that I want. I could also click and rotate them the way that I want. Right click. I'm going to group those ears and I'm going to copy and paste. Command or Control C, Command or Control V. And now I need to flip it or rotate it. So if I click and hold the rotate tool, there's the reflect tool right here. If I double click on the reflect tool, you can see I can reflect or mirror that on the horizontal or vertical. Go OK and move that back into place. So handy tip, you just have to make one object, like one eye, one ear, copy and paste it, and use this flip tool over here to flip it. So now you know about a few other tools that help me make the cat face. So let's say you want your cat face or your illustration to have a more of a sketchy look. I'd recommend starting out like this and then putting on the sketch stuff after. First thing I'm going to do, I've got it all illustrated. I've got everything in these folders all grouped together. I'm going to drag this down here and make a copy of it. I'm going to turn all this stuff off so you can see this. So on the top layer, I'm going to select this right here, this little circle. I call it the meatball. So make sure the meatball is selected. Go up to where you know the fill is and go no fill. So basically, I want my lines separated from my fill. So I'm going to turn this off and turn this one on. I'm going to do the opposite over here. On this bottom one, I'm going to turn off the stroke and just leave the colors in there. Make sure that this is selected. Go up to Effect. Go to Stylize and check out Scribble. And you can go and make different scribble options. You can check out the different widths and whatnot. And then once you have this adjusted the way you want, you just go OK. This won't work as well if you kept the line on. So that's why I separated the line work. So now I'm going to go to the line work here. And then I've opened up the brushes area. So you can go to Window and open up the brushes window. You could check out other brushes here. I'm just going to click the first brush here and go OK. Not sure why that didn't work. Bear with me 1 second here. There we go. So you pick a brush that you want there. So there's a quick trick on how to make a sketch look to your illustration. So you can start with an illustration that looks like this, and then if you want, you could put a scribble and a stroke on it to make it look a little more sketchy if that's the style that you want to go for.